Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 4:30:25. I love this time of year. Everything's blooming. It's all coming in. It's all falling together. The weather, the new season, and flat Earth. That's right. That's right, guys. I haven't gone anywhere. I take a little break, and I'm just astounded about how fast everything is moving at such a rate. Okay, well let's first get into the presidency. Okay, everything Trump is doing is right. Okay, all right. Just give it some time. As a matter, I see everybody panicking. They're all going out and buying new cars. Have you noticed? Now tell me, you have not noticed new cars on the road today. Brand new, right off the showroom. They're going out, they're panicking. Like, you idiot. You're going to make the second biggest purchase of your life based on what you listen to on the media? On the freaking fake media, the fake news? They're all panicking. All the stuff from China, all my clothes from China. Yeah, that stuff from China, that crap shit that's at Walmart, it's now 3 times as much as you're going to pay for it. So you might as well buy American. Do you see what he's doing is fine? Let it fall into place. Let everything go through, and everything will be back to normal. You'll have some nice big fat wallet. You'll have car prices back to normal, clothing prices back to normal. You'll have more jobs and a hell of a lot freer. A friend calls me up from Manhattan, says, Chris, everything's pretty much almost back to normal down here. I mean, yes, sure, we still have our typical bums that are on the street, but not as many. Fifth Avenue, most of the bums are gone. Of course, it smells like marijuana down there. They're going to have to work on that. That was the dumbest idea I have ever seen anybody ever make, to legalize marijuana. What do you think people were going to do? Alcohol's legal, but you sure as shit can't go on a sidewalk and sit there and drink it. And if you do, you're a fucking bum. So these people are just smoking pot like it's cigarettes out in the street, out in Manhattan, Poughkeepsie, Beacon, Newburgh. Oh, it's my favorite place. Good old Newburgh. The fucking place. Falling apart. Crime. Bullets. Everywhere. Everywhere in New York that's a major city or even a large village, you're going to smell marijuana. It's great. Great idea, guys. You got to give it to the politicians, though. They're making a lot on the taxes, I bet, right? Yeah, right. I'm sure. Half these stores are going out of business. There's one right here in Connecticut. It's right down the street from here. You can walk in, buy a bag of pot, and walk right out. It's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed to go into that store. It's like going into like a strip joint. Is anybody see it? You're ducking your head. These people are walking out like they're buying sandwiches from the deli. Like, my God. Oh, man. Okay. All right. I know. Bezos. I'm gonna have to bring it up. Okay, even though it's yesterday's news, it doesn't matter. Katy Perry and her friends and whoever else was in that bouncy house tent, and that's what it was. That was let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to the fair? I have. Do you have any kids? Have you ever brought them into a bouncy house? The door that opens up to the bouncy house and it flops back? That's exactly what that shuttle did. That fake piece of shit shuttle that they said went into space. Where did it go? Well, it shouldn't have been like hot as hell when it came down. Where was the smoke? Where are the dark spots? But no, they put the steps right up and the door pops open and there's Katie. If you think that was real, you're delusional. Delusional. That was a bouncy house, and they were sitting inside of the bouncy house, and they came out of a bouncy house. kissing the ground. I don't know what the fuck she was doing. These stars are sold out. I've been telling you from the beginning. They're all sold out. They have been all of their careers. They got their career from selling their fucking soul. All of them. All Hollywood actors. All singers. Football players. All these famous people don't accidentally fall into this billions of dollars. Okay? Don't you see this? That's what they are. Okay? That's what they are, and they'll always be that way. That's why they're hidden in these mansions around gated communities. You'll never see them, and if you do, well, they're going to be surrounded with a bunch of people. Okay? And that's what this society is. You sell out, you sell your soul, you become rich. That's how it is. You can pretend like you're singing. You'll have backup singers. We'll make you look like a movie star, and just sell your soul. Come on. Come on. Sell your soul. You'll have billions. That's what it is with Hollywood. That's what it is with movies. Okay? That's what it is with sports. That's why I won't watch any of it. That's why I won't watch football, baseball. You have my permission to contact the authorities if you see me with a hat on at a football game or I'm painted. That's not me. Oh, shit. Unbelievable. Well, now we're talking about in the flat earth, the image that's on the moon, and I'm never going to go, this sucks. Now that I'm beginning to look at it more and more, it's looking like a map on the moon. I heard about this years ago. It's always been in the back of my head, you know. Why do we have the only satellite out there that has these pristine images on them? You know, is God trying to tell us something? He or she, whoever it may be? Yes, of course. Of course. God wanted us to figure this out. They're trying to hide it from us, you know? But they can't hide things like this. They can chemtrail us all day long. It doesn't matter. You know, they can try to hide the moon, but now it's clear blue skies. This is the first day that I've seen clear blue skies. It's been like days, weeks, if you want to call it. I haven't been able to get a good weekend in. That was probably that sunset that not sunset, but the eclipse that I took. Nobody even knew what happened. It was great. You know, I loved it. I was the only one who could actually see it. And it was just this little, you know, half circle right there on the sun. It was absolutely fantastic. I'll talk about that in a minute. But they can chemtrail us all they want. They could try to hide the moon. They could try to hide the sun. They could do whatever the fuck they want. But they can't always do it 100% of the time. We're always going to have some clear days here and there. And that's when you're going to be able to see. They can't hide the images of the moon. They can't hide what's on the moon, is what I mean. Okay? They could blow up buildings. They could blow up tunnels. Every picture that I've ever seen of them working on not the aqueduct system, but our water supply system, okay, in New York, is them removing dirt. Same with the train tracks. They're sitting there removing dirt, all of them. People think we're in this tech age right now. What tech age? Our buildings are bullshit. Look at these buildings. These are crap. You know, the buildings back 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago or more advanced than what we have here. These are just like blocks as far as I'm concerned. They're nothing. They're nothing. There's no architectural engineering thought put into this shit. This is like Lego land that we're living in here compared to the palaces and everything else that we had back 500 years ago. Hell, 1,000 years ago. My God, look at the pyramids. Did they bring that up again? I don't know, because I remember every like 10 or 15 years they bring up that there's something underneath the pyramids, okay? They did just bring it up before, rehash something from 15 years ago. You know, that was before I was a flat earther. And I was like, yeah, that would make sense, because if the aliens did come down here and place the pyramids or built the pyramids, I can't believe what I used to think. Oh, man. Now, we had technology that they have hidden from us. They found we have clocks that are more advanced than the clocks that we have right now. Okay? From many hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, we had everything back then. And now we have nothing but these stupid smartphones. And that's why people think we're so advanced. How little do they know? Because they're looking at their technology of machinery. They're not looking at the technology, architectural technology. They're not looking at that. They're not looking at the aqueduct system. How did we build that back in 1900s? Okay, when we were sitting there with a fireplace and candles. We didn't even really have electricity back then. But meanwhile, we built these extravagant things that went on for hundreds of miles. Even the dams, look at them. I mean, we're finding pyramids all over the place, for crying out loud. They just found another one in Antarctica. Look at this. Everything screams old technology, flat Earth, and if you don't see it, you're totally lost. If you're trying to suppress flat Earth, then you're just a troll or something else, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter for us, because the truth is everywhere. The truth is easy to find, and soon a certain amount of people will have to wake up in order to get that tipping bridge, where it's just comes second nature now. Oh yeah, flat Earth, yeah, sure, I know all about it. What's your opinion about it? That's how the future conversations will be. Not flat Earth and you get some wacko who, looks like he's about to shoot you or something like that, or run you over with his car, those days are coming to an end soon. And I think they realize this. They're going to lose power, because once, flat Earth is discovered, they have lost their power. There is no more power for them. There is no more governments. There is no more school. There's nothing for them. It all boils down to money. Where does the money go? What happens to the money? What happens to the millions of dollars on a daily basis NASA is collecting from every single one of our paychecks? Where does that go? Back in our wallets, obviously, but where's all the money that they spent, and where did they spend it if space doesn't exist? What are they doing? Obviously, are they trying to get through the dome? Is that what they've been trying to do for the last 50 years? What have they been doing with all this cash if they're not going up to space, because there is no space? What about satellite TV? There are no satellites up there, and if there are, they're being held up by balloons. They're not in space. They didn't cost barely anything to get them up there. They just shoot them up there. That's all. They're all helium. It's just so obvious that they're suppressing everything from us. And they just continue with the lies and try to reiterate it with everybody by bringing up stupid space shit that they just, this is how pathetic it's gotten. Making a bouncy house look like it actually went into space, because they know they can't pull off going to the moon. They can't do that again. They never will be able to do it again. It's impossible. There's too many people woken up with it. Would be torn apart to pieces. To pieces it will be torn apart. Mars? Are you kidding me? What's going to happen to... If Mars actually existed, can't you think about the fuel supply, the air supply, the food supply? What are they going to do? Eat ants on Mars? There's nothing there. There's no space. You're looking at lights in the sky. But if there was a Mars, what are they going to do? Where are all their resources? What are they going to keep shooting out rockets to Mars and hope that one of them makes it to the surface and then that has all their food that they need? Come on, guys. I mean, this is bullshit. This is 101 nonsense. You know, that all of us have learned years ago at this point. You know, I mean, you've never seen a meteor come up through the sky. It's always going down. That doesn't question. You've never seen a curvature of the Earth. Nobody questions that, you know. Never seen a meteor actually land in front of you. Billions of cameras out there. Not one shot of a meteor hitting the ground and exploding and making a crater. Not one. But yet we have pictures of everything else. I don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, it's become obvious for us years ago, but now it should be screaming out flat Earth. Screaming out that there is no space. Screaming out that they've been hiding history. Screaming out to everybody on this flat plane that you have been lied to, that everything that you have been doing all of your life is bullshit. Okay? It's all nonsense. It's all part of the system. And that's what they want everybody to continue believing, is this system that they've made up for failure. Okay? Failure if you don't go through their system. They've trapped you. They've trapped everybody here into this prison that they have made. While they live in their $25 million mansions, gated with walls, you can't get to them, and they're hidden. Digging down mansions. I think Facebook is digging a mansion 1,000 feet under the ground, or maybe a mile under the ground. Who knows? He's got all the money in the fucking world. Doesn't matter. You know? All these people. Every single one of them. They all own you. They all own us. And we're all slaves here. And we always will be, unless if people if they don't wake up, this is how it's going to be for generations and generations to come. That's it. So this is just going to continue on. All of it. This has been going on way too long. And it's definitely coming to an end. It can't continue like this for generation after generation. I mean, it just can't. The way they're spending money and the way they're taking money, someone's bound to fucking wake up at this point. You know, why have we gone to the moon? How many generations and more generations is going to take? The people don't even question that. Why haven't they landed a person anywhere? The only thing they send up there are fucking probes. That's it. And these shitty pictures come back that are not HD pictures. They're fucking shit black and white pictures. They look like some from 1985. Remember the the disc camera? They look worse than those. Fucking disc cameras, for crying out loud. That's the technology they have up in space. You know, why haven't people questioned that? I mean, the mere fact that they haven't even bothered sending anybody to the moon to walk around on it. No other countries even bothered either. That should scream out to you that something's a matter. You know? It should scream out to everybody that something's a matter. Aren't countries fighting with each other about land? Why aren't they fighting about Antarctica? Why not? It's more land. Why aren't every single country on this flat plane fighting about that? The resources out there. Nobody questions that. They're just too busy with their families, with their work, with their 9-to-5 bullshit, and their stupid weekends of watching TV and wasting their time. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.